My name is Amy Zellers, and I happen to become a member of St. Mark's because I have a terrible sense of direction. This was the closest Lutheran church that I could get to with only 2 left turns. I had no idea what ELCA was, ELCA. I was familiar with Missouri Synod and Wisconsin Synod, but I thought, these people can't be any more structured than those 2 synods, so I'll give this a try. I went for years and years without attending church. One, because I was living in little tiny southern towns where no one knew what a Lutheran was. 2, I am so afraid of going into a building by myself. There are mice and rabbits with more courage than I have. But finally, I decided, yes, this is the church that I can get to easily. I practiced for 6 weeks. But one day, I got here, I parked out in the street because there wasn't hardly a parking lot back then. It's big now compared to what it was back then. And got up my courage, walked up to those red doors. Those suckers were locked. The Spirit entered me. This little mouse did not run back to her car. Somehow, I made it around to the itty-bitty parking lot and was able to come in through those doors, and 2 of our wonderful matriarchs grabbed me, Mary Hubbard and Harriet Masako. They got hold of me. I mean, the Spirit was working overtime, but he put me into the right hands, and I didn't dare not come to church after those 2 ladies got a hold of me. And I have never seen such a welcoming community. It was the Spirit at work. My 2 main role models. My mother was a very positive influence on me. And as I reflect, I realize she'd been a Lutheran only 2 years longer than me. She grew up in the church of the Salvation Army Church, very evangelical, believed in the triune God and all that, but a completely different background for her. And she would take time. She, taught me how to pray at night, and taught me about, at Christmas, we would set up the creche together, and we'd have fun talking about that until the rodents ate the Holy Family, and then we went to other displays. And at Easter, at that time, Good Friday was part of the spring break, and so she would have me stay inside with her from noon to 3 when Jesus was on the cross, and we would talk about Easter together. And so she was a real positive role. I don't know if it was the Lutheran role, but it certainly was a Christian influence on me. My father was definitely an influence, but he wore his faith like a piece of clothing where he could put it on or take it off. So if communion was only twice a month anyway, and if it happened to interfere with a Packer game, well, then we would sit in the back and just scooch out. And I don't recall attending Sunday school again because you had to get to Grandpa's house in time for the Packers. But again, Mom sent me to Vacation Bible School with my little friends. So I went to Methodist Vacation Bible School, Presbyterian Vacation Bible School. But I learned from my dad that there was a sort of, I don't want to say a bad influence, but he counterbalanced everything my mom said. I thought, well, boy, that's optional. And that rested in the back of my mind for quite a long time. But a seed must have been planted there way back when. Day to day, I really live a very isolated life. It's my husband and I will get up before dawn, go up to the Blue Ridge, get our exercise in, get about 2.5, depending upon how often I have to commune with nature, 2.5 hours worth of walking up and down the trail. And there's nothing like a sunrise. I've often said, our good Lord cannot just talk to me. If he's putting handwriting on the wall, it's in neon, it flashes. I have to, Amy, this means you. And some of his sunrises are that kind. And the other thing I like, because my social life is here at the church, people are so kind to share stories of their families with me. And to see pictures of these little guys and gals and the older guys and gals, it's wonderful to hear stories of real families. It reminds me that we have so much in common. In hard times, there's one phrase that Pastor Matt says every Sunday: I am God's child and nothing can take me from him. What more is to say? Praise be to God.